Hello and welcome, Robert Wolfert here. Welcome to this challenge, a random Linux command line tool explained. This is a challenge I have chosen for myself, to give me some practice in live streaming. We are currently live on Facebook and on YouTube, and I want to really explain you random Linux command line tools. Random Linux command line tools just by using a terminal and some kind of whiteboard. Let's show my screen, or let me show my screen. This is my terminal, the terminal I have here, and I have a list. I have a list of tools, a list of Linux command line tools. Within this directory, here I have a list of tools. These tools are here sorted, but I have written a script, simple script name choose tools.sh, and this script takes randomly one single tool from the list tools.txt, prints it out, and I then try to explain this tool for you without any further preparation. Just the tool, and I want to explain it. Okay, the tools.txt, let's have a look. We have a reservoir of how many tools we have here? We have 121 tools in tools.txt, and let's try to start with the first one. So if you have any questions, if something isn't crystal clear, then just use the chat. I try to observe the chat if I missed something. Okay, so let's start with choosing a random tool. Let's start the script, choose tool.sh, and it mixes the tools, and the winner is the tool tail. Oh, okay, a really simple tool, the tool tail. Let's have a look. What can the tail tool be used for? The tail tool can be used for printing out the last lines of a data stream, or for printing out the last lines of a file. So let's take the file. Let's take the file we have here, tools.txt. We have a file, tools.txt, tools, the file, tools.txt. And if I print this out with cat to the console, it isn't really good readable, and sometimes I'm only interested in the last X lines of a file. Let's say it could be a log file of a system, and new messages are appended at the end of this log file. And with the tail command, you can simply print out only the last X lines of a file. So let's take, or let's call the tail command only with the file we want to have a look into. Tail tools, tools.txt. And now we see per default the last 10 lines, of this file. And if we want, we can modify the number of lines we see. We can see, for instance, the last 5 lines. As you see, just the command line option -n followed by a number. Now I have the last 5 lines. Now I have the very last line, only the last line of tools.txt, or the last 12 lines, for instance. Okay, this is the tool tail. Prints per default the last 10 lines of a file or a data stream. Let me explain this in a minute. Yeah, you can modify this behavior, not the last 10 lines, but the last 100 lines or the last 5 lines and so on. Tail can be really useful if monitoring files. If you are monitoring files, let's say I want to monitor a file live. I want to monitor a file live. Let's say I have a log file, ls-l var log syslog, for instance. Yeah, this is a file, and I want to monitor this file. I want to monitor this file. I can do this with the tail command. Tail. I need more permissions, so I call sudo tail var log syslog. And now again, I see the last 10 lines, but I want to modify it, monitor it. I want to monitor it in real time. And for this, the tail command has the follow mode. We have a follow mode for the tail command, and this can be started via the command line option -f. -f starts the follow mode of the tail command. Okay, let's make my picture a little bit smaller and the console a little bit bigger. So, and now when started in follow mode, I have typed tail-f var log syslog. Now you see again the last 10 lines, and after that the tail command doesn't terminate. The tail command doesn't terminate. Instead, it monitors the file, it leaves the file open, and if a line will be appended to this file, you will see this line instantly. You will see this line instantly. Let's try this out. Let's append a file instantly. I have to open a new console. I have to open a second console to the system. So now I'm logged in, and you have seen that the log messages here, or the one log message was appended. This line was appended to the file. Yeah, let's log a different message. Let me show you how I do this. Let me show you this console, or this small console. Make it a little bit bigger. So I'm a different user on the system. Yeah, I'm here, and now I take the tool logger, for instance, to log a log message. Logger hello world. Okay, and now you see instantly the new line is printed out by the tail command. Yeah. Okay, so I can terminate the tail command by just hitting Control-C. Control-C terminates the tail command. Yeah, this was the command line. I have started tail-f var log syslog. I had to start it via sudo because I need more permissions to read the file. Then the tail command shows me the last 10 lines of this file, and then it switches on the follow mode. It observes the file, and if a new line is appended to the file, it instantly prints out this line. Yeah. So again, sudo tail-f var log syslog. Yeah, we see the last lines. If you want to, you can just hit enter a few times to give you some space between the last lines the tail command printed out and the next lines flying in. Yeah, so let's again log something, log test space 123, and you see the line is instantly printed out by the tail command. Yeah. Okay. So the tail command can be used to print out the last lines of a file, the last X lines of a file, to monitor a file in real time, yeah, to observe what lines will be appended. And you can use the tail command to print out the last lines of a data stream, for instance. Yeah. So if you have a data stream, what is a data stream? The data stream is simply the output of a command. Yeah. So if you have a command line, PSAX, for instance, to print out all the running processes on a system. Yeah. So these are all the running processes on a system, but you want to see only the last lines, then just use the tail command. Pipe tail -n5 and give me just or only the last 5 lines of the output of the PSAX command. I don't know if this is really useful with the PSAX command, but let's take a different tool. Let's take the tool ls. Let's list the etc directory, and now let's sort the files. Let's sort the listing. ls can sort the listing by, for instance, by the size of the file. Yeah, ls can list or can print out a list of files sorted by some metadata -uppercase s sorts by size. And now I'm only interested in the biggest file. Yeah? What is the largest file within the etc directory? And if I sort by size, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the output. You see, oh, let's append a -l to show the details. Yeah, what you see here is that per default, the largest file is the file at the top of the output, and the smallest file is this empty file at the end of the output. So let's reverse this order. My intention is to see the biggest file, to see the largest file in the etc directory. So let's reverse the order. Yeah, R, lowercase r stands for reverse the order. Now again, sorted by size, but now the largest file is the last one in the list. And now I'm only interested in the last line, tail -n1, and voila, this is the biggest file, the largest file within the etc directory. And if we want to, we can omit the -l parameter. We don't want to see all the details here. Yeah, we just want to see the file name itself, and voila, this is the biggest file, the largest file within the directory, etc. Yeah. Okay. So tail can be used to simply print out the last lines of a file or the last lines of a data stream if combined via the pipe sign with a different command line. Yeah, this pipe sign means that the output of this part of the command line, yeah, will be feeded into the input of the tail command, and the tail command now prints only the last line. Last thing I want to mention is that the tail command can print out all lines, but the first or second lines, the first one or the first 2 lines, for instance. Yeah. So let's take the output of the command df. Df, disk-free, gives me all my mounted file systems on a system, yeah, and how they are used, how much they are filled up. to how many percent they are filled up. So, and now let's say I want to process these data a little bit further, and for this I want to omit this first line. I don't want to see this first line, the header of this table. Yeah. How can I do this? I can do this via the tail command. Let's start simple. Let's start with tail-n for. Let's print out the last 4 lines. Let's print out the last 7 lines, for instance. Yeah. So if I count the lines 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, then I can print out all the lines without the first one. But if we have 8 lines, 9 lines, 10 lines, yeah, we always would need to modify. We always need to modify the number of lines we want to print out. We can do it the other way around. We can tell the tail command we want to see all lines at the end of an output or a file, but not the first one, or not until the second one. Yeah, we can say the tail command this in this way. Yeah, +2, for instance, tells or says to the tail command, please give me everything at the end of the output and start with the line number 2. Start with the line number 2. And let's see if it works perfectly. Yeah. So again, df-h without the tail command appended. And now let's append the tail command. Yeah. This is the first line, this is the second line, and the tail command shall print out all the lines at the end of the output, starting with the second line. Yeah, and voila, it works. Yeah, so this is the tail command. I hope I didn't miss something important here. Yeah. So if you have a data stream, if you have a file and you want to see only the last X lines of a file, for instance, only the tail of a file or a data stream, use the tail command. There is a second command. There is a second command that can be used together with the tail command. This is the head command. The head command is the opposite of the tail command. The head command gives you the first X lines of a data stream or of a file. Yeah, so it works the same way the tail command works, but it takes the lines from the start and not from the end. Yeah, so I can say, okay, head, give me please the first line of a data stream, and you see this is the table. Yeah, and now give the table header. Yeah, and now give me please the first 3 lines, for instance. Yeah, this is the head command. The head command can be used also with a data stream, as shown here via the pipe sign. It can be used with a file. Yeah, let's say we have the file tools.txt, and we want to see the first 5 lines of this file, and you see these are the first 5 lines of tools.txt. Now let's say we want to see the third. We want to see only the third tool within this file. How could we do this? Let's say we want to print out, let's print out only the first 3 lines. Yeah, and we want to see now only the third. We want to see only the third line bzip2. Yeah, and we can do this by just combining the head tool and the tail tool. Yeah, the head tool has filtered out only the first 3 lines, and now the tail tool can be used to filter out the last line from this output. Yeah, so tail-n1, and you see bzip2. Yeah, tail command is the command to be explained, and it can be used very, very good and useful together with the head command, that works the same way as the tail command, but prints not the last lines of a file or data stream, but the first lines of a data stream or a file. Yeah. Okay. So this was the tail tool. If you have any questions, then let me know this via the chat. Okay, let's take the next tool. Let's take the next tool. No, let's take the next tool in the next session. Yeah. Okay. See you in the next session. My name is Robert Wolfhard. By the way, if you want to know more about such tools like the ones we talk about here, have a look at the Shell Toolbox. Have a look at shelltoolbox.com. The Shell Toolbox is a book I have written that consists or that explains all the tools you need daily at the command line if you are working with a Linux system. Yeah. So if you want to have a look, shelltoolbox.com. Yeah, go to shelltoolbox.com and have a look. Okay, so see you next time. Let's end the session.